Greetings, welcome back to Switch to Linux. Hope you guys are all doing a pretty good time there. What's the sound? I don't know, is there a weird sound? Let me see if I can hear some weird sound. Of course, I don't think I have headphones plugged in there. I'd have to... Oh wait, there it goes. I don't know. I don't hear a strange sound. Let me know if you still hear a strange sound. I'll be glad to look into it. Alright, so greetings everybody. So, alright, let's go ahead. Lamarck is waiting. Protect yourself from Google. Don't use Google. The end. It would be nice to say that, but there are times, whether in business or in other places, you may need to use a Google account, or unfortunately, if you're one of the unfortunate folks who has to have one for school type stuff or for work type stuff, how do you actually manage that? And that's kind of what we want to look at here. And so let's see. Let me just jump on over here and pull up our comments there. Ken, how's it going there? Robert Fitzpatrick, hello there. Great subject and timing. I have a new Android phone set up later this week. Yes, I will tell you about it. If we're using YouTube, then we're using Google. Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion. Yes. All right. Alex Seor, Q1 Fiend, KO2610. Hello, Analog. Hello there. Lamarck, hello. Highland, greetings. Keegan, good afternoon. Linux Daily, how's it going there? Let's see. Like on Silver. Oh, sorry, you're sick. The kitty looks at my profile cat. Yeah, the kitty. Hey, kitty. You see the little kitty up there? See that little kitty? See that kitty? I don't know. If he attacks the screen, man, it's your fault. Bitblocks, how's it going there? New logo, looks like, for you. Robert JF, how's it going there? Baron Albatross, great topic. Just gave Facebook 1 week notice, and Google is next on the chopping block. The cat. Meow. Kitty is ready, and everyone too. Hello. Okay, forced to use Google Home. Yep. Hello there. All right. So greetings, everybody. All right, I'm going to go ahead and replay the intro. My apologies for that. The reason is I want to do a more concise one of this. I'm going to edit out the video a little bit and kind of do an edited version of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button. We're going to do that. We're going to do a mousepad giveaway at some point in time here. I have the 5 mousepads we're going to give away. And so we're going to be doing that drawing partway through here, somewhere near the end. So we're going to go ahead and rerun the intro and go ahead and start. Hello, Arterio from Mexico. How's it going there? All right, we're going to turn that on. Well, welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we are going to talk about how to stay private on Google. This is actually a kind of an important topic to discuss because, you know, so a lot of people will simply say, you know, just don't use Google or, you know, whatever. But the reality is there's a lot of parts in our society that unfortunately you can't get away from Google. Now, maybe does it need broken up a little bit? Possibly. But whether that may or may not happen, I don't really see that happening in our current political environment here in the United States. But it is important to maintain a degree of privacy. So I'm going to walk through some of my tips and some of my tricks. But to do that, I'm going to show you how I've been managed to keep Google out of my my private life. And as you know, you can actually go online and download your data. So of course, a lot of this concern about the data has come out in wake of the Facebook and Cambridge Analytica reports, and then people are like downloading their Facebook data and it's like finding some shocking things, and then some other people are like, well, you know, Google probably has more data on you. And so that begs that question, what data does Google have? Can you prevent Google from getting that type of data? What can you do about it? And of course, you can go and delete the data. In theory, that will happen. And so with that being said, what we want to do here is we're going to go ahead and start looking at the Google data that they have. And So first thing we're going to do is I downloaded one of my profiles. This is one that was attached to an Android phone. This is the one that was attached to a Samsung Galaxy that I had from, I want to say it was like 2015 to 2017, I think. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at the data. Of course, the only thing I edited is the email address at the top and I think the calendar contact file name. So here's actually the data when you downloaded this, and this was only like 2 megabytes. Really, not a lot of data, because really they don't have any data as you look through. Here's your bookmarks. Of course, here's your exported file. Here's my bookmarks. So none, 0, Zipola. Calendar file. There actually is nothing on the calendar. And I'm not sure the best way I can probably prove that is if I come over here and, well, I guess I exposed the email address that it isn't valid. Actually, I don't think I did because you guys couldn't see the screen. The calendar doesn't have anything on it. Classroom data, here's your contacts file down here. It's just your starred contacts. That one there, I'm going to have a look at it, and as long as there's no data in there, I'm pretty sure there's not. Yep, no data at all. Let me switch over to that view. Here's that file. 0 data in that, so they do not have access to the contacts. So this is an Android phone that had contacts in the phone. So I never had any of that data in there. The drive has one file, and it's the Getting Started PDF that is in everybody's drive. Fit, no data found. Google Business. There should not be any data on this. I think, once again, I can come over into my thing here and actually have a look at the JSON file. It just simply has a account ID number. It has account name, which says Tom M, and it says type personal. That's all the thing says. As far as your photos, no data found. Playbooks, no data found. Groups, no data found. This one here is just the README and the Google Suite Marketplace. Hands-free, no data found. Hangouts, there is a file there. I don't recall I've ever actually used those. Hangouts on air, no data. Keep, no data. Location, no data. Maps, no data. My activity. This is funny. These are actually, I think, all... Okay, let's see. Activity. So Google Play Store. This is anything that you have downloaded from your Google Play Store. So you can see I have downloaded, the Core Official Remote, VLC, K9 Mail, because you use... There's one of your tips on an Android phone. Do not use their built-in Gmail app. Use K9 Mail. KDE Connect, OpenVPN, Chrome browser, Amazon Kindle. So you can see what I had downloaded. Not a lot. And you'll actually see that there's a few. That's because the phone swapped a couple of times. So you'll kind of see some things like you didn't have the ability to not have it. It basically, as you turn on the phone, it links to the account, it downloads all that stuff automatically. And then I actually went through the phone and erased most of it. So even this is not a surprising amount because, like, SurveyMonkey, I know I never downloaded that. A lot of these are just things that Facebook Messenger, I never once downloaded. I think, it says I searched for. That's because I wanted to look at what the permissions were. So you'll see that I visit various things. I search for various things. There's OwnCloud. That's it. That's not a lot of data as far as that. That's your Play activities. Here's search. This is Google search. I visited Google search 3 times because I don't use Google. YouTube's the only place where there's activity. Now, this is funny because there's all of these videos in here are all on March 3rd, 2017. And I think this is when a friend had the phone, borrowed the phone. And I'm thinking... I never put the YouTube app on here. I'm thinking, I don't remember exactly how these got tied in there, but once again, this is just not a general behavior that I would do. That was, like I said, a friend had done something. I'm not sure how it got in there. Maybe he used Google Chrome or something, which was on the phone but never got used because I used Firefox. So that is the extent of the data that Google happens to have on me in that respect. Now, of course, I do have some other Google accounts. I got to get back to the main. There it is. Okay, the other ones that I have are, this one is linked into a Google Plus account. I re-edited that. I actually wrote Google Star, not Google Plus, but whatever. This is the one that has a little bit more data in it because this is what was linked to a Google Plus account. This is the account that got linked to my author page. This account was logged into an Android tablet, and every now and again I might have logged into a computer. And so one file is the one link or something that got added to the Google Circles page or whatever, because who actually uses Google Plus? Well, not me. That was that time when you absolutely had to have the thing. Bookmarks, nothing. Calendar, there's nothing in there. I'm not sure where these Chrome files came from. You can see there's still nothing in the Chrome. Possibly Chrome on the tablet, I don't know, but again, I don't use Chrome, so really nothing is in there. As far as the contacts, again, there's should not be anything in that one. Let me just go ahead and have a look at the contacts file there. Yep, once again, blank file. They got nothing. Location, no data. Maps, no data. Activity, this is just Google YouTube activity. Not much there. Of course, this is kind of funny here. One of the things that really confuses them is that one of my clients in Los Angeles sells females clothing, so I manage all her sites. So I have a lot of interesting searches across different things. This might have been put in here because I needed to test something in a tablet type environment. That's how that ended up being there. Really, secretly, I wear women's clothing. As far as profile data, that's just the basic data for the Google Circles. No search contributions, no voice data found. And then here under YouTube, here's the watch history. Again, that's the file we just saw. Playlists, I'm not sure there would actually be anything in any of those. These are just two different files on two different files in there in the system that were attached to the Christian channel in the first incarnation. So really there's no data in there that is super crazy, super private. As far as this one is another one, this is one of my business accounts. So I have two different Google business accounts. Once again, you will find that there is nothing in the bookmarks. You will find that even though these are business accounts, there is no contact data. There's no drive data. Google Business might actually have a little bit of data in there because one of my businesses was listed on Google at one point in time. You see that there's no photos. Nothing in there. Under your activity, here's just basic search history. I search YouTube. I have no idea what these were. I think these were from a kid I was mentoring, grabbed a computer or something that must have been logged in somewhere before we had logged it out. That's what my guess is. No idea. Don't remember watching those videos. So like I said, I had a lot of teenagers in and out of the house a good decade ago. So that's probably where those came from. But you'll see that there is a lot of data under the voice. This is because I do use Google Voice phone numbers for a variety of different things, mostly keeping privacy in phone relays. So I'll use Google Voice for that. So those are some of the things that you'll see here, that there is not a whole lot of data that they actually have on my accounts. And I went through all of the Google accounts that I had, downloaded all the data, except, of course, the account data that I didn't download my videos. If I needed to, I could. I mean, I could download a copy of all of the videos that I've uploaded to YouTube if I wanted to. I have over 500 videos on this channel, so that would be a lot. So I definitely don't want to do that. But you can see how little data they have. And how was I able to do this? So I wanted to break this out into phones and into computers and other devices. And so as far as the first thing you want to do is you want to use completely separate Google accounts for different devices. Okay? It is not worth sharing your entire life with Google to sync everything up. And that's one of those, is it a convenience factor that I can have everything here and everything over there and everything this way and that way? It might very well be a convenience factor for you. And if that's a convenience you need to have, you need to be willing to trade that off. But in my case, even every tablet, every phone that I've ever had that would have had a Google account has had a separate Google account. This was the last one there. Actually, I downloaded the data and then deleted it because I don't have that. The only Android phone I have right now runs a custom ROM, so there's no Google account attached to it at all. And so using separate accounts is your first key thing. I even have 2 separate accounts for the business stuff. Of course, the YouTube channels are divided across different accounts as well. So those are those things you need to keep in mind is use different accounts. Use different accounts. Don't just pull up the phone and go, oh, look at that. It wants the Google account and log right on in with the Google account that you're using everywhere else. Because it tends to, what it does is it compiles all that data and learns a whole lot more about you. Now, of course, Google can grab data. It's like, okay, this one account has logged in from these same IP addresses. The thing is that Google will still treat those as separate people unless they somehow get tied together. The reason is it pollutes the data if they assume that 2 accounts are the same person, because we could be family members, we could be roommates, we could be sharing an internet hotspot in one shared location. And so for simplicity or for the most data accuracy, Google would rather have several different accounts than try and tie everyone into the same thing. This is why my Mac computer, when I go onto YouTube, always pushes completely different video recommendations than any other computer, because it's not logged in and it sees me watching certain things from that device ID, but it doesn't link those to the same computer. So as far as they're concerned, we might not even know each other. We might just be sharing Wi-Fi. And that's one of those things you got to keep in mind, is to use different accounts. Of course, you may run into challenges where you want to keep up with things, you want to comment on videos. If you have to do that, a desktop and a device. Or just set up different accounts and just use 2 different accounts for that. The second tip you want to do is do not stay logged into Google unless you absolutely have to. I have one computer, that's the media PC over here, that is always logged in. This is the one that plays things as I'm going through. This is the one I comment on things. Of course, I have this computer I'm recording this on, which one of the user profiles stays logged into the one YouTube account, the other one stays logged into the other one, because that is the purpose of these particular computers, is to do the videos and the video work. But that brings in another point, is if you need to do that, utilizing entirely separate accounts when you are getting online versus when you don't need to be on the Google accounts, having completely separate login profiles is certainly a good option to have, if not different computers altogether. Of course, not everybody has the ability to have different computers. So if you have to be on the same computer and stay logged in, then the next tip you want to use is separate things with a different browser. Use one browser. So that's what I do on my media PC. One browser is only exclusively used for YouTube, nothing else. There's no searches, there's no anything else. It stays logged into YouTube, and that's it. For every other function, every other service, every other web search, every other everything, you use a different browser because it keeps things separate. Of course, make sure you have Flash disabled unless you absolutely have to have it, because Flash will store what are called super cookies and allow you to share data between different browsers. So blocking that is going to give you an extra degree of privacy. So different computers if you can, different user accounts if you can. If you can't do that, certainly use different browsers. Only stay logged in if you absolutely have to. And that raises the next point, is if you don't always have to keep your system logged in, and most of you don't, most of you it's just a convenience factor, only log in as an incognito or a private window. If you're using a Chromium based, it would be called an incognito window. If you're using a Firefox based, it would be a private window. And then there's, different things under different cases. So using different accounts, never stay logged into any Google accounts. using alternative browsers, only log in private if you need to. Now that's kind of your computer use. Let's talk about your smartphones. Of course, if you don't have to have an Android, like Google's version of Android on this, don't do that. If you have the technology, the expertise, the ability, putting a custom ROM on your phone and avoiding Google services altogether is one of the best things to do. This phone here, Google has never touched it. It is a virgin Google device. And I will not log in under Google. That doesn't mean I don't watch YouTube videos. I mean, if you want to watch Switch to Linux videos, you can go and go to youtube.com, type in Switch to Linux, and you can see everything I've just posted recently without actually having to log in. So that's, of course, one of those options for you is to simply not log in to the phone. Keeping Google services off your devices. How do you manage your email? Well, don't use Gmail. You do not have to have a Gmail account to use Google. A lot of people don't know that. They've really pushed and tried to make sure everyone has that Gmail account. You don't have to. You can hook up any old email address to a Google account. That's what will allow you that if you can buy a domain name for a couple bucks a year and buy a hosting, which is certainly less than $100 a year, manage all your email on those platforms like that, you can set up separate accounts for everything, a completely separate email address for everything. It is the best way to go. I do not have a single Gmail account, and I never have. I've had a few Google accounts that were work-related things that I didn't have to set up. It was just companies I was working with that required it, and they set it up, they managed it, all that kind of stuff. I would use it, but that was about it. Everything else, you use Google with a completely separate email address. Don't use Gmail for all of your stuff because they're grabbing all of that information. That's why you'll actually kind of see that Gmail is actually completely missing from all of these things I showed you because I don't have it. Okay. The next thing about your phones is particularly newer versions of Android, but this is not something that's brand stinking new, is that you can go into any given app and you can set your permissions. So for example, I'm going to go into my contacts. All right, now of course I'm using Lineage, I'm not using Google, but if you go into your contacts on I think Android 6 and later, it might be 7 later, but I think it's 6 and later, you'll have the ability to go in and toggle these switches on and off. Now, some applications will crash the app if you don't use it, and I think that's a little kind of scary. You'll notice location is turned off everywhere. And then, of course, that's the next thing is never turn on location services on your phone unless you absolutely have to. Make sure every app, no app should have permission to use location unless it's critical for that function. Like, for example, a map. Okay, a map. You might want to turn location services on for that. What you do is you allow the map to access the location, but you only turn on location services when it is required. Now, of course, people will be like, well, they still know where you are from blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Okay, we're talking about the things that we can do. Okay. There is not a great deal of evidence that Google is going to grab your phone's location data if you have location services turned off. Yes, it's possible. We're talking about the minimum footprint. This is that pendulum swinging. The thing that says, I have nothing to hide, so I'm going to expose everything. We want to do away with those attitudes. This may not be perfect. If you want perfect keeping Google away, you got to get rid of that and use a dumb phone. That's what you want to do. If you need that smartphone, though, or you want to have the smartphone, these are those things to do. You keep location services turned off, and you only allow critical things to have access to the location data. Okay, there's no need for your Gmail to access your fine location through your GPS. There's no legitimate reason for that other than Google wants that data. So if you don't allow them to do that, shocking, it won't do that. So those are those things that you want to do. Those are those simple steps. So, of course, if you're watching this afterwards, I'm recording this live, so I'm going to go ahead and take some comments now. And there may be some cool questions in there that I switch back to this view, and we go ahead and answer some of those. All right, so that was my spiel on that. Let's see what we got as far as our comments are concerned. Really waiting for the Librem phone. There you go. Mousepads. I learned how to PM for drawing this morning. All right, I think you're on the list. Baron Albatross, you'd be down near the bottom. Yes, Baron Albatross, you are on the list. To use YouTube, you need Gmail and Google+. No, you do not need Google+ anymore. You used to, and you do not have to use Gmail. You do not have to have Gmail to use YouTube. I do not have a single Gmail account, and I have multiple YouTube channels. Yes, Q and Fiend, they are nice mouse pads. Yes, in fact, I bought things like, I put the store together, and I bought a bunch of stuff first prior to actually launching the store, because I wanted to make sure the quality of the items are good. And everything is. I have a travel mug here. Quality's very nice. Water bottle, same thing. And of course the t-shirts are American Apparel, and mouse pads are really nice. Wanted to use Google Takeout to see my data. Will it delete my Google account? No. Does not delete your Google account. You have to do a separate thing to see your to delete your account than just to see it, because you can download multiple copies and just leave an archive laying around somewhere. You can use different emails to set up YouTube account. Yes, Keegan had mentioned that. I had mentioned that as well. Okay, Green Scale, how's it going? Librem phone is the only solution. I disagree. I mean, I think the Lineage phone is good enough. I mean, here's the thing. By the way, this phone blocks Google services, other than YouTube, because I have a host file on it that blocks Google Analytics. They don't grab nothing. Okay, I don't log in with Google services. I don't allow them to use Google Analytics. I don't allow Facebook on that phone. So Facebook can't track what I'm doing. That phone is invisible to those big tech companies. That's the power of what you can do. Suspect the market isn't big enough to make it viable long term. Yeah, hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. Hello, Switch. Two cats yelling, meow, meow, meow. Right, kitty? How's it going there? Hello, Omar. Greetings. YouTube profile picture is attached to Google+. Yeah, you'll actually notice that in my business accounts, there's no Google+ there, and I don't think my YouTube channel has. Let me see. Yep, no data found in Google+ for YouTube accounts. What's going on today? Not a whole much, Lemler. Oh, dude, just leaked a lot of phone numbers. Yeah, the 99% of them are scam phone numbers. That's exactly why I use Google services for public-facing phone numbers. Those are the phone numbers, if you land on one of my websites and you see the contact phone number, that redirects you to a Google number. The Google number takes a relay and pushes it to my phone, provided it's not a spammer. Shocking. So that's that. What custom ROM do you think is best based on privacy? I haven't looked into all of them. People say Copperhead OS is good. I don't know. I haven't looked at Copperhead. I was just looking for one that is stable, production, and works. I use Lineage because it allowed me to get away from Google services. Oh, he's on Ubuntu Mate by now. Very good, Highland. Awesome. I've been using Linux for 4 years. Disable everything I can. In Giggles, Teehee, privacy settings. I have separate hard drives. Occasionally verify. Yep. Lineage OS without G-apps and Copperhead OS. Okay, so yeah, Lineage without G-apps is what the route that I took. 64, F those phones. Never had one, never will. There you go. That's the way to go. Your advice so far. Feeling lucky. Most of what I have has already been doing. How much we forget is common sense. Yep. Phones with new clappers for the elderly. Street cameras, drones. We can't win. Yep. That's actually why I don't go in public anymore without a hat on. I never used to wear hats, but I wear hats. I wear sunglasses in public these days. Pretty soon I might start walking around with one of them anonymous masks. I don't know. 1984 is supposed to be a warning, not a guide. Proton mail. Yes, proton mail is good. I like proton mail. Of course, with the new iCloud law was it eCloud law was put into law. It was attached to some stupid funding bill. Like, Congress, we need to stop that. I think every bill should just include only what's relevant, because they took a completely unrelated eCloud ruling and they threw it on top of some completely different bill that had nothing else to do with it. That should be completely illegal. Because yeah, now though, if they determine you have a Proton Mail account, they can go and work with the Swiss government and still get it. The Proton Mail, because they don't have POP3 and IMAP. Yes, they do, but you have to pay for it. If I remember correctly, I think it's just a one-time. It's not too expensive either. Video earlier about the shooter. Thanks. Yes, no problem. Yeah, I was on the border whether I wanted to publish that. When I recorded it, I'm like, I'm not sure if I wanted to publish it. There's some things I'd probably say differently. Yeah, it ended up being a pretty good video. I created my account. I think it needed to be Gmail. No, Google accounts never needed Gmail. In fact, I had Google accounts before they even had Gmail. And it's never, ever been a requirement. You also turn off a lot of Google tracking your Google account. Yes. Always turn off the Google tracking, delete your data, things like that. Forgot the like button. Here it is. Yep. CyberPython, greetings. Okay, what's the best way to sync contacts or calendar? Best alternative to Google stuff. You know what? This is one I haven't looked at, but Nextcloud can do it. And as I was looking at Fedora last night, Fedora's online accounts can connect Nextcloud calendaring. So that's something I need to look into, is Nextcloud calendars, and see if that would work. Because I highly support Nextcloud. I mean, for those people that like to stream music, Nextcloud can actually stream your music as well. If I just go into my Nextcloud app, just come over, here's my my music. If I come over here and just go on to, let's see, just hit all files, hit the music button over here, and hit the MP3, and it will stream. So you can set up your Nextcloud service to stream for you as well. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Your cell phone provider sells all your data. Until recently, they weren't allowed to. Now it's questionable. We don't have evidence that they necessarily are selling all that type of data. We do know that police can get that data too easily. And there's a lot going on right now about third-party doctrine, things like that. But again, a lot of what the phone company has isn't the data on the phone as much as it's merely location data. I really want the anonymous mask. Yeah. Wear my sunglasses at night because the future is so bright. Gotta wear shades. There you go. Yeah. Mentioned earlier, black phone is a good alternative. New Cloudflare DNS. I've not looked at it yet. It's the 1.1.1.1 DNS. I'm not sure. Highland, I'm about to do the drawing. I'll let you know if you win. All right. A nice theme for video would be a Google Apps alternative. That would be a good thing. Yeah, Nextcloud's pretty cool. Sewage bill for teacher pensions. Kindle fires are littered with crap. Yes. Yes, they are indeed. Yes, they are indeed. Where's that? All right, we are going to go ahead and have a look at our. We're going to have a look at our drawings. All right, so what I have here is the list of everybody that is signed in. I have 54 entries for the drawing, so I have been keeping this up to date. And what we're going to do is we're going to let the terminal run our random numbers. So, of course, everybody is on this spreadsheet here. So you'll see the numbers are associated with the person. I verified I don't have any duplicates. One person tried to enter twice. But anyway, I took out any duplicates that were in there. What we're going to do is we're going to run a random number generator through the terminal. So I set this up to give me a random number between 1 and 54. And we're going to go ahead and run these guys. So are we ready? Drum roll, please. Can I push the enter key? Number 26. First pad goes to number 26. So Kitson9T. You get a mouse pad. So if I call your number, first thing, make sure I have to, and this was in the requirements, I have to be able to get a United States shipping address. All right. Number 2, drum roll, 54. That is Saddle Ridge. You get a mouse pad. Okay. Number 2, BitBlocks. And these are, by the way, in the order of the submissions that I received them. You get a mouse pad. 21 is N. Vaughn. You get a mouse pad. And for the final, 41 is Daniel Turbs. You get a mouse pad. So if I called your name, shoot me a PM with your mailing address anywhere I need to mail it, and I will have those out in the mail, possibly as early as tomorrow. So make sure that I get those. So BitBlocks, N. Vaughn, Kitson9T, Daniel Turbs, and Saddle Ridge. Make sure I get a mailing address, and I will have those out to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and save that document so that I have it. And we'll take some final comments here, and we will then go ahead and probably wrap this up shortly. Techlore, greetings there. How's it going, man? Haven't seen you on the streams before. I've watched a few of yours. Let's see. Modded my Kindle Fire. Sweet. James Miller, how's it going there? Retrainer. Hope you're on there. Let's see if you were on there. Yeah, I had the lists updated for a while. I don't see it on quick glance, but the current, like the list of everyone that was on this was over there. So hopefully I didn't miss ya. All right. Okay, what do you think about Rust, the programming language? I have no idea. I have not done programming since C++ in college 20 years ago, other than dabble in PHP. So, let's see about Go by Google. Aren't they looking in these things? They could implement tracking and compiling. Probably. Sorry, bad joke. Do the losers get a dead mouse from Kitty? Kitty, you want to go find dead mice for all the winners? Oh, the losers. That's right, the losers. Yeah, if you want a dead mouse from the kitty. No, I don't have any mouse problems, fortunately, so that's good. Yes, if you were not in the drawing, you can order one of these at shop.switchtolinux.com. That will redirect you to Spreadshirt. You can pick up one of those. You can pick up one of these. I think the mouse pads are like 20 United States. I think the water bottles and travel mugs are around there as well. And then, of course, there's T-shirts. And you know what I don't show enough is the shopping bag. I intentionally put shopping bags up there because I use shopping bags. I highly support using shopping bags to not use the store-bought stuff. All right. I think what I'm actually going to do here, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and do an outro in the video. I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer, so don't go away. But I'm going to go through and read more comments, and we'll hang out as long as you guys have comments. But I'm going to go ahead and roll the outro and stop recording to make my editing job a little bit easier for later. So All right, so that is my final thoughts on how to stay private on Google. You can see my results. I've been doing these types of things for a while. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can check out switchtolinux.com/support, and that will redirect you to the page which has all the current ways to help support us. One of the ways is you can pick up things like mouse pads. I have mouse pads. I have travel mugs. Other things like that at shop.switchtolinux.com. So you can head on over there. That's going to redirect you over to Spreadshirt, where you can pick those up. I'm also on Patreon, patreon.com/TomM, for those needs there. If you want to help support the channel over there, that's certainly an option. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right. For some reason, my support banner's not showing up right. I don't know why, but let's see. Get that fixed real quick. Hope I didn't accidentally goof it up. No, there it is. All right. Oh, you know what? Haha. Wait, hold on. Huh. Yeah, it was under. It somehow got underneath my camera, so I tried to have the support banner there. It didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. Let's see. BitBlock's got one. Yeah, BitBlock. Shoot me a PM with mailing address. Kitty has caught many mice over the 15 years. My friend of mine used to catch mice and throw them in the bathtub, play with them later. Tuned right in on time. Always have a pleasure to have you on the streams. Awesome. Yeah, when are you doing yours next, TechLore? Check out TechLore's channel, guys, if you haven't. He's got a pretty big channel there. Yeah, let me know when you do streams. I'll tune in when I know about them. And of course, you know, like, notifications don't work. Daniel Turbs, you want a mouse pad. So shoot me your mailing address, and I'll get that out. And not only a dead mouse, but it wears the Microsoft. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to send you all a copy of Windows 98. All right. Do you struggle with dealing with Google data collection being a YouTuber? Question, do I? No, I don't really. And for the reasons I split, I'm not sure how long you jumped in there, TechLore. I did a whole big thing earlier. The way I do it is I only keep one browser logged in. I only have one dedicated computer logged in. Not everybody can do that, but you know, I'm a developer, so I'm surrounded by computers all day long. And so I have one dedicated computer, and just to confuse them anymore, it is the computer that the operating system changes every few days, or like every few weeks, I should say. Which, by the way, guys, who is in favor of me running Fedora next? The Fedora beta was released. It seems very solid. I think I had one of the developers ask me a couple questions on there as well on the video from yesterday, and I'm very curious. Should I run Fedora? I've classically have not cared for Fedora, and I don't really care for GNOME. Should I do it? Let me know. If we got enough support for that, then we'll run GNOME over there. I'm still having Ubuntu. It hasn't gotten in my way yet. There's some little annoyances with it, but this is the Ubuntu Budgie beta. It works great. I like it. Eventually, I'll move back to something else. Let's see. So yeah, I don't really have problems with data collection with YouTube, just because I don't attach it to my phone. I don't log in with multiple places, and I keep, you know, I keep my, like, I don't do any searches with the web browser that uses YouTube. I always make sure I do my searches there. Something I didn't all mention as well, stop using Google. I mean, Start Page. Firefox Focus is cool. My friend, he wanted to know about doing Start Page, and he got Firefox Focus, and he's using Start Page, and what Firefox Focus will allow you to do is create a desktop shortcut onto your Android device. He's using one. We can't unlock the bootloader, so we can't put a custom ROM on it. So literally when he clicks his Firefox thing, it boots right into Start Page homepage, and that's what he does. And so that's those are those things that you do. I like the XFCE mouse, but not a dead one. Yeah. Actually, I have a cat that likes to kill computer mice. She gets a couple every couple years. Well, my cat stays away from my computer mice, which is good because I have too many. Kitties are mouse slayers. Linux musician kitties, the mouse slayers. That's right. You're not a mouse slayer, though. What is a good email service other than Outlook or Hotmail? Proton Mail is a good one. I personally use my own email servers. I just have a cPanel with a website host, and my own domain name, and it is way better than anything. Now, there's a little war going on with those where sometimes the big clients don't like some of them. So you do have to make sure that you're on either a VPS or something that does a good job of cleaning things up. But I don't use, like, I have a couple Hotmail accounts that are junk throwaway accounts, but I use all my own mail servers for everything else. That's what I do. I have some videos on that as well. But if you're looking for a service like that, Proton Mail is really good. Kitty liked birds and misplaced cats. Had Husky and a cat at the time years ago. They tolerated no outsider in the home. The Husky would drag back dead possums during walks in the woods. I'd like to see Fedora. Okay, there's another vote for Fedora. All right, I'm getting a lot of votes for Fedora, so I think I'll probably do that. DistroTube has a great video about Windows 10 install. Cool. Yeah, I think I didn't watch the video, but I think I saw you did it. There are alternatives to sandboxing on Linux. I have no idea. Separating your digital identities is a great way to do it. Yep, that's what I do. Every device I've ever had has had a different login. And then when the device goes away, I delete the login. Sent you PM with the address. All right. Yep, I'll be doing all that tonight when I get off the stream here. Switching to Ubuntu 17.10 today from Windows. Very good. A tip on Ubuntu 17.10. First, 17 is probably, it's like 17.10 is probably the worst Ubuntu. So be careful of that. It's not a good representative experience of Ubuntu. Ubuntu 10 allows you to boot into Wayland or Xorg. You want to log into X unless you have to use Wayland. Your performance is going to be infinitely better if you log in with X. To do that, just hit the main login screen, and there will be there's the little symbol next to your username. Pull on that symbol, and then you'll see the drop-down list. You'll see Wayland is the default, and the X server is the other one. You want the X server unless you have a very specific reason not to use it. Performance is twice as good on Ubuntu 17. Anna Rita, greetings there. Got home from the dentist. Oh. Greetings, pizza. Pizza. Just streamed Windows 98. Sweet. Yeah, check alternative2.net for alternatives to things. Ubuntu 17.10 Budgie is great. Okay, actually putting Fedora 28 on a USB to install on one of my computers. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to go with it. We'll go ahead and make that work. All right, let's see. I think that's about what we want to do here. We're going to go ahead and do a final call for comments, and we were going to end this the right way, the best way to possibly end a video. I gotta move that camera down a little bit more because you can't see the kitty quite enough. There you go, buddy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you want to try and get one yourself again? Want to try and get one yourself again? Do ya? Come on, get one yourself. Get one yourself, buddy. Come on. Go for it. Put your paw in there. It's so cute. Come on. Go on. Go on. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. I think you got one. Did you get it? Oh, you didn't get it, did you? All right. There you go. Oh, there you go. And one more for this camera over here. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just hit the microphone. There you go. Are they finger looking good? Yeah, they are, aren't they? All right. All right. Let's see. Final comments. Let's see. Jason K. Okay, yeah. Soft spot in my heart for Windows 98. Yeah, I like Windows 98 too. I mean, I was in college and I had Windows 98 in college. You should try Windows 10. No. No. No Windows 10. No. Yep. All right. Kitty! What's got a second computer, going to have Mint for everyday things and Windows for gaming and music. Yeah, there you go. That works. Tried getting... Thank you, Tech Lore. Appreciate it. What are my thoughts on blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies? Do I believe there is the future? Okay, that's a fascinating question. All right. Blockchain technologies, I'm not as well versed as I could be, I have to say. I need to spend some time doing some research into blockchain stuff. So I really need to. So I don't know a ton about that. As far as cryptocurrencies, I'm not a fan. Now, Pizza Lovin' Nerd on here has a relative who worked in the cryptocurrency field, and according to that relative, what you're actually doing when you're mining cryptocurrency is you are actually running calculations to break into, basically running calculations for hackers, hacking encryption keys and things like that. And if that happens to be true, that's deeply, deeply disturbing to me. I don't know for sure. That's based upon him and firsthand experience from a relative. And Pizza, if you can point us to any other evidence that that is actually occurring, I would love to research that more. Blockchain technologies, my understanding, like I said, I'm ignorant on the field, more like torrent type stuff, trading things out. I think that that's a good thing, and I think that that's probably part of the future of the web, because we are getting way too much focus on individual companies controlling the content. Google, Facebook has too much control over the content. The news agencies have too much control over the content. And we're starting to see now in some foreign countries this week, one of the countries might have been Singapore, but I'm not, don't quote me on that exactly. I'll try and find out and cover this on Friday's news. What they did is they made literally fake news a crime punishable by jail time and a huge fine. The question we have is, what is fake news? Well, if fake news is anything that does not agree with the mainstream media, now we have a problem, because the mainstream media, for example, Washington Post is owned by Amazon, or Jeff Bezos, really. We have too much control, too many people control that. And the more decentralized we can make things, the better off it's going to be. This is why I think that everyone needs to get moving towards services like Tor and things like that, because we need to move more underground and with less ability of other people to see what we're doing. That's kind of my thoughts on that. So I think it's probably a part of the future. In fact, I've been thinking about taking my Christian channel videos and putting those on like DTube and the other blockchain type ones, because I don't have a lot of confidence those are going to get monetized anyway. And that's really the reason I keep everything on YouTube right here, is it gives me more focus here. But with that, what I can do is experiment with one channel with a lot of focus and the other channel is not, because that channel's main revenue stream is selling and promoting my books and funneling people back into Patreon and things like that. And so that really it's a different model. I use a different model on that channel than I use on this channel, where I want here to be focused. But I also want the experience to use the other systems and know all the alternatives for if YouTube happens to just blow up. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. So thank you, TechLore. I appreciate it. Let's see. What's this? Okay. I'm getting tired of uploading just Linux videos. Want to upload videos about geography and some other interests too. What about losing subs? No, don't do it, Pizza. Pizza, I think the reason my channel grows so fast is because I don't just do one thing. Even though there's a small amount of people that are like, you should stick to this, to Linux, and somehow it's, no. I have a cooking channel, a Christian channel, and a Linux channel. My Linux channel is more about philosophy, so I talk about a wider variety of things, trying to stay focused on the tech, the privacy, things like that. I try and keep religious discussions for the Christian channel because I just want to keep those separate. And in the cooking channel, I think is the possibility of being my best channel. It's just a matter of getting the time to get stuff going and things like that. I would say, Pizza, do it, man. Just get a regular schedule. So it's like, you know, Sunday's geography day or whatever else you want to do, or history day. Find something else and add to it, because here's what happens is that the people that like you for Linux are going to like you for Linux. For example, who is it? Like WAN Show. I like watching the WAN Show with Linus Tech Tips. If I'm looking for something, I'll see what Linus Tech Tips has to do, but it's not a channel I watch on a regular basis. Okay? I don't have time to watch all of the things that they do on every single regular basis. And I know that they do one show a week that I really like to watch, and I tune in to watch it every week. But I don't care what they do the rest of the week. You're going to get some people like that. They're watching your videos for the other things that you're doing, honestly. That's kind of the thoughts about that. Of course, he will push his head inside it. Oh, yes. The kitty. Fun was repairing relatives boot camp install with Mac and Windows XP. Let's see. Oh boy. Sponsored by Temptations. I need to. There's 3 different companies that sell things like this, and I need to approach all 3 of them with a cute kitty over here and see who might want to sponsor a video or 2. Okay. Switch to Linux Mint in 2020 when Windows 7 support ends. Okay. Well, what I would recommend, Nor, is get yourself a little USB key like this, install Linux Mint on it, and dabble in it. You don't want to make a cold switch, okay? I think that if you make a cold switch from Windows to Linux, you're going to have a bad experience. Start by getting onto it, spend some time on it, learn what some of the applications are. And while you're still on Windows, start to ask yourself what type of software will do the things that I need Windows for, and start learning how to do it, particularly your cross-platform things like LibreOffice. You can install that on Windows still. Unless you have to use Microsoft Office, consider switching over to LibreOffice as you're making that switch. That way, as you move to Linux, you'll have a much smoother transition than just waiting and then doing it. Also gonna cry. Yeah, I will too. I love my Windows 7 computer, but when it dies, it dies. The cat is loving this. Meow, meow. Bitcoin mine is just solving encryptions. Yeah, that's what you're telling us. How many shekels is a Bitcoin worth? I don't know. Oh, relative's friend. Okay, got it. I like it. I hate Windows 10 though. Microsoft has been pissed me off ever since Windows 10 came out. Yep. It's Windows 10. I think it's faster than 7. Still problems with blue screens. A lot of it, for me, I think Windows 10 is fine, except for that whole spying and privacy stuff. I don't want my operating system spying on what I do. And for those that say, well, we have a smartphone, I do different things on this than I do on my computer. Okay, I run my budgets on my computer. I run business books on the computer. I write letters on the computer. I do things on the computer that are more important than I do on a smartphone. I think most people, that is probably the case. Linux Musician, breaking encryption is basically what they are doing. That's why they need graphics cards, because processing power over CPUs. Yep. Keep trying, but I always end up back to Debian net install. Debian's good, I gotta say. What about the Spybot anti-beacon software? Yeah, you know, my problem with the Spybot anti-beacon is if I need a separate third-party software to prevent my computer from spying, I don't like it. But here's another factor. All Spybot does is the same things I could do with the host file, and Microsoft doesn't respect the host file. So how effective is it actually being? I'd like to see that. 2 minutes till Ubuntu finishes download, then you can put it on the drive. Very good. Greetings there, Kitson. Kitson, if you just logged in, you want a mouse pad. Make sure you get me your address so I can mail that out to you pretty soon. I can't remember if you were on earlier or not. Actually liked 7 before my 2 machines that ran it down. Windows 199 to change the background on the desktop. What? Windows 7 runs great in a VM for games. Okay. About okay, we already talked about that. Microsoft changes would you have to disable and have to run it again? Yep. Yeah, they are constantly changing all that stuff. Thank you for your thoughts. Awesome to hear. I'm uploading some videos to DTube also. It had issues, but for the reasons you're looking to also, DTube may one day take off. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think. How much data I leak? I know some services require this data to function, and it can be intuitive. But what's Windows 10 is doing is very unnecessary. Yep. I maintain my son's Windows 7. Works fine, but it's an effort. Yep. Since Windows is proprietary, we don't know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, better run away. Run! Using Windows 7 for gaming only. Mint is the main operating system and everything else. What are my other channels? One of my channels is a Christian channel, which is called Our Walk in Christ. Let me grab you the links for those. Actually, they're both on my, if you go to my Linux channel, they're actually both on the front page of my Linux channel. One of them is a Christian channel, which I am probably not going to get a video out on that one this week. For the regular study. And the other one is actually a cooking channel, which only has a couple videos on it so far, but I do want to start getting back into that one pretty soon. So, sorry for the late response. I've heard of Fire Tools, graphical interface for Fire Jail. I've not heard of that. Yeah, pizza. Do it, man. Don't do YouTube just to get your views. Do YouTube because it's what you want to do. And if you want to talk geography, talk geography. If you want to talk Linux, talk Linux. Have a variety channel. I mean, I really think that's one of the reasons my channel has grown so fast. I mean, 10,000 subs in 18 months is a lot of growth. And I think it's because I have a wide variety of things. I mean, the netcast's pretty wide, but it's still fairly consistent. Which DNS do I use? Have I tried Cloudflare? No, I actually don't generally use a DNS, but I do have a homebrewed router built on a Fitlet running pfSense, and I run a lot of custom scripts in that blocks like everything in my network. It blocks a lot of your advertisers, a lot of your data tracking, all that kind of stuff. Only follow 20 YouTube videos, no more, because I prefer to live life during things. Yeah, there you go. Late PC didn't see my Wi-Fi card. Oh boy. I'm going to start learning from now. I've already used so much FOSS. I'm exploring Linux Mint's features and other distros as well. Yep, that Linux Mint's my favorite. So that's that part. Let's see. Know precisely. However, reading the terms and conditions, they have access to everything you do. Yep. Too much anything is not healthy. Limit yourself. Yep. First geography video, history video will be called, all countries called, do not travel, U.S. travel advisory. I did. Awesome. All right. Learning a lot. God bless. Thanks, Linux musician. Appreciate it. Tom, some way he looks like an atheist, not a Christian. Wow. You might think. I was for a long time, actually. I mean, I came from a completely non-spiritual or any other background. We came from pretty bad places. Can you make a video on your homemade cheese? I actually don't make homemade cheese, mostly because it's so time intensive and I don't eat enough cheese as it is. And you kind of need a little bit more specialty equipment that I don't really want to invest in. So that and the farmer I buy other stuff from is thinking about working out some deal to barter cheese stuff as well. Unfortunately, in my state, you're not allowed to sell raw cheese without being like a grocery store or something. I don't know. I have to look into it. Told me she told her friends to watch her channel, and her friend said, Tom is cute. Is there a way to date him? My wife says, nope, he lives in the U.S. Woo, boy. Getting all over. All right. Serious Tom, what would you do if YouTube shut down? Do I have a plan? Yes. My plan is to move on to other things like DTube. There's a few other places I keep an eye on a regular basis. I have backups of all my videos. So, yeah, that's kind of the thing, you know. Saying that goes, if something is free, then you're the product. Yep. you make a video on your oh wait, homemade cheese? Oh, homemade Cheez-Its. Homemade Cheez-Its. My apologies, pizza. Yes, I will do that. It is on the list. It will get done eventually. It's actually fairly simple. I'll explain it really quick here, but I'll do an official video on it later. You want to start with the tortilla recipe that I have. So use half a cup of flour, an eighth a teaspoon of baking soda, eighth a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of coconut oil. You mix all that together nice and thoroughly, and I'm going to shred into that finely shredded cheese, whatever type you want, you know, depending if you want them Parmesan, if you want them cheddar, if you want them jalapeno, whatever type of cheese you want, Cheez-It flavor you want. Shred that in there, do about, I found about a cup works. So you'll actually literally have about more cheese than the rest of the dough. Mix that in with 3 tablespoons of water, stir it over there, knead it on a counter for between 5 and 10 minutes, and then you want to roll it really thin with a rolling pin. And then I will slice that into however I need to slice it to put it on a cookie sheet. And then I use a pizza roller and cut it into the tiny little squares that you're used to for Cheez-Its. And then bake them at about, I think I bake them for like 375 for about 5 minutes. They'll come right off the tray together. In fact, they're done when you can pick up the tray and shake it and they're loose. They're done. In fact, you can pick it up, shake it, dip off the loose ones and put the ones that aren't yet done back in the oven for a little bit. Pretty easy, but yeah, eventually I will do a full video on those. Willie wanted to know your thoughts about Elo smartphone OS. Elo, I don't know Elo smartphone OS. What is that? Elo, let's look into that. Never heard of that. Elo, mobile OS and web services. Oh, it's a Kickstarter. Okay. I have no idea. First time I'm seeing it, so I can't comment on that, unfortunately. Sorry. Subscribe to the cooking channel. Love food. Did I say a pizza roller? No, you roll it with a rolling pin. To cut them, I use a pizza cutter. So you know the basically just a thing on a wheel, you know, used for cutting pizza. That's what I do for that. All right, well, it looks like we've hit the bottom of the comments, and I've hit the bottom of my stream here. Bro, wake up. No one gives your secret information, especially CIA. Okay. Open source company, I think. I don't know. Yeah, no one cares, especially the CIA and the FBI. They've just been collecting it. It's just for fun. It's just for fun. Why not? All right, folks. Well, those are my final thoughts on this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this video up here at least until I have everybody's addresses that won the pizza cutter. Yes, I did say pizza cutter. Pizza loving nerd, you're going to get cut up, man. Greetings, Technobismo. We are just leaving the stream, man. Sorry, man, you missed it. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here, and I'm gonna go. Maybe I think I might make some homemade Cheez-Its, man. You talked me into it. Oh yeah, Pete. That's right. I forgot, man. Yeah, pizza does get nervous when someone says pizza cutters, doesn't he? Yeah, but pizza, you gotta learn how to make my favorite homemade pizza, all from scratch, including my pizza sauce. Oh, gorgeous. Of course, I gotta make. Maybe I do have to learn to make cheese so I can have my own. I'm gonna eat. Wife is calling. All right. Yep. I think I'm gonna eat too. So. All right, guys. We will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a good one. If you are one of the Mousepad winners, once again, Mousepad winners. BitBlocks, Envon, Kitsun9T, Daniel Turbs, and Saddle Ridge. Please make sure I have your mailing address, U.S. mailing address, and if any of those are not U.S. mailing addresses, I will unfortunately need to pick someone else. But anyway, we will catch you guys later, and enjoy your time on the channels. So have yourselves a good one, and we'll catch you later.